everyone, welcome back to this very next video. And in this video, we are going to talk about typography. I'm Salman and I will be teaching you everything about typography. Yeah, let's get started. See, typography isn't just about picking a pretty font. See, whenever I talk to people about typography, they say that select a good font, that's it, everything will be better. No, see, you shouldn't be just picking a font, bro. So it's how we make words readable, clear, and visually appealing. So typography is like the backbone of how users understand content, which means if your typography is bad, user will leave, obviously. Okay, hope you're clear with this. And yeah, just like color, exactly the same typography does it. In color, how does colors guide? High contrast colors will guide the user. Same in typography. Big text is equal to important and small text are the details. Okay, so that's how you guide user. And to improve readability, which means if a squint in the sense you don't have to close your eyes and see. Well, not exactly close your eye. Make your eyes closed na to zoom and see. So yeah. Also, typography sets the mood. If you have a playful font, a comic type of font, that will be a playful one. And also, serious means Times New Roman and other stuff. Modern means we have modern form. Also, next we have accessibility. And accessibility is obviously proper spacing and contrast that make text easier to read. Okay. Now, if we just compare it with color theory, let me just go above and just show it to you. See, same. Guiding users, set the mode, create hierarchy, make users access UIs accessible. Same stuff here also. Which means if you have a bad typography, that will lead to frustration, confusion, and users clicking uninstall. Okay, awesome. So, okay, forget about the title. I'll just tell you the types of fonts. Okay, there are five main type of fonts. Serif font, where you have them sharp type of edges. Okay, so these are called serif fonts. Then we have sans that are smooth, and yeah, most of the modern. So these are clean and modern, which means they are best for UI text, and serif is best for trust and tradition. Then we have script. Script means fancy and handwritten, signature based fonts, right? You need to avoid this for UI because it is hard to read. Okay. Then we have mono space, which means every letter is the same bit, which means every letter, these all the letters have the same bit as of this. Okay, same bit means from in M, if you see, let me just tell you how. Starting from this to this, the difference. Okay, this space will be equal in this space also. Okay, awesome. So these are the type of fonts. Last font is a display font. These are decorative and bold. So these are best for headlines, not body text. Now, if I just show it to you in Swiggy's example, see, this is some sort of a display font only, and this might also be a sans serif. I'm not clear about it, but yeah, sans serif. This is best for UI text. Okay. Now, big text important. Big text is important, right? Small text is the detail. So that's how we play with the typography. Let's go back again. Awesome. This is done. Next is font selection. How to select a font. Okay. See, don't just pick a font just because it looks cool. So you need to consider four stuff. That is readability, screen compatibility, tone and personality, performance. Okay. So readability means if users struggle to read, you have failed, my friend. And the tone and personality, which means in let's say in a newspaper, if you use like most of the newspaper are Times New Roman, let's say, okay, and in that if you use a fun font, doesn't make sense, right? So the tone and personality too should match the context. And then we have compatibility, which means not every single font renders well on all the screens. Okay, so you need to choose fonts according to that. Then we have performance. If you have custom font, that will slow down the loading. Basically, if you do not use fonts that are not from Google Fonts, okay, I'm just giving you an idea. Okay, there is a website called Google Fonts, right? And if you don't use fonts from them, and you have some other fonts that are created by other authors and are not very official and not public, that will slow down loading, because that some fonts don't even render well on other screens, okay, other devices. So if you use system fonts, that will that will load faster, and it will improve the customer experience. And what are the safe UI fonts, you might ask me, right? The safe ones are the ones that are, wait a minute, let me paste it here. Yep. Okay, the first one is Inter, then we have Roboto. It, yeah. Then we have Roboto, then we have Poppins, then we have SF Pro of iOS, then we have Open Sans, and the list goes on. Okay, but I primarily use Inter, and also we do have DM Sans. This font that you're seeing is Sans. I love the font. Okay, now how to pair the fonts? See, there are three types of font pairing, which means good font pairing will make the UI professional, and bad pairing, it'll make it look like a school project. Okay. See, good pairing is like this: sans serif plus serif. Okay. That means Montserrat and Georgia. Wait, I'll give you an example, better example. Okay. So let me copy paste it here. So DM sans. Hello world. Okay. So this is DM sans. Let it like this. And this is sans, guys. As you can see, this is DM sans. Now, what I'll do is I'll add a serif display, and I'll increase the size to 32. Now, these two go well, right? These two go really well. Okay. So, if you use big headings if you use serif for big headings, and for details, if you use sans serif, it'll look good. It'll look clean and classic. And then we have bold and light version, which means if I use DM sans only, here also DM sans, here also DM sans. Okay. And but if you make the headlines bold, yeah, that will have a balanced contrast. Okay. In Swiggy's example, they do have it. Wait a minute. Yeah. See, bold, not so bold, very bold, right? So like that only I'm telling. Yeah, this one, bold or medium or semi bold, something like that. And this is regular weight. Okay. So yeah, that's how you select it. Then once we are done this, yeah, bold and light version and same font family. This is also same, guys. Doesn't matter. Okay, these two are literally same only. But what the difference is, this can be Poppins bold and DM Sans light. Okay, so same font family is a better thing. That's what I use in every UI that I design. And then we have font pairing. Okay, font pairing, let's say, should be typography hierarchy. Okay, good typography I told, right? Good font pairing I told. What about bad font pairing? What if both of them are serif only? Look, it looks outdated, right? And then what if both of them are decorative fonts, which means one is about Dogdo. What is this Dogdo? And then another one is Grandstander. Yeah. This looks messy and unreadable, right? And what if you have too many fonts? Let's say you are using this many fonts in a single UI. Okay. So these are bad font pairings. These three are bad font pairings, and these two are good font pairings. So yeah, let's move on to typography hierarchy. So typography means there are some sort of stuff, which means headings, subheadings, body text, CTA buttons. Which means headings are the ones that are large and bold and they grab the attention. Then we have subheadings which are smaller than headings. Then we have body text that are for details that are for telling or explaining the details, and these are the smallest ones and are the easiest ones to read. Easy to read, not easiest ones to read, because headings are the easiest one to read. Then we have CTA buttons, the text that are used for buttons. Okay. Yeah. So these are typography. Next you have line height, letter spacing, and readability. So line height is nothing but the space between lines. Now if I just show it to you, you will learn about it in intro to Figma. So I'll just give you an overview. Now this is the line height, which means that the space between these lines, every line. I keep on increasing it. You can see, right? So that is line height, and then comes the letter spacing, the space between each letter. Okay. So and contrast is nothing just about let's say, as we saw in the previous video, na color theory, the same stuff. Black text on black background won't work. No one will be able to see, right? Common typography mistakes. There are common mistakes that people are currently doing, which is using too many fonts, as we saw last time, and tiny font sizes. See, 16 pixels is the minimum one, guys, which is easier to read. You can go till 12 pixels. 12 pixels is okay, but 16 is the minimum. And yeah, bad contrast, which means low contrast, and it is hard to read, obviously. And not giving enough spacing between the texts, and also justifying text in UI, which means uneven spacing, ugly UI, right? So these are the common typography. And then we have great example of typography, that is Apple, Medium, Google. Medium you might know, where people talk about some stuff, articles and stuff. Apple, you know, right? And Google, you all obviously will know it. So yeah, this is about typography. I hope you are clear with this. Typography, again, I'm telling, typography isn't just about picking fonts, it's about designing an experience. Good typography should be easier to read, should be pleasant, and it should be functional. Bad typography is equal to users leaving it. Okay. And yeah, you need to pick wisely because your UI depends on it. So yeah, I will be seeing you in my next video. And till then, take care and bye bye.